MakingStarWars.net.
From MakingStarWars.net, and that's Rob. And we're gonna be talking about the Star Wars news of the day. And oh hey, it's Meg. What are you doing here? Hi, Meg.
I just stumbled in here.
Riding on a horse. Anyways, yeah. So thanks for coming to hang out with us, Meg. By the way.
Thank you for having me.
But Rob scared me by throwing you on the screen. I was like, "What? How did you get it here? How did this happen?" But we are on all the podcast platforms. We're on YouTube and Spotify and all of that jazz. And today we're on Facebook and Twitter because a couple of the shows got like more views than we've ever got on like Twitter, which is strange. But I don't know what's going on over there. But
well, we are an inherently right-wing program, Jason. Right?
Oh yeah,
right?
You know us.
Yeah, you know us.
But if you like the show, come over to YouTube or Spotify. It's the better place to watch the show every day, by the way. So anyways, so how you doing, Meg? What's been going on in Megland?
Well, today I interviewed Paul Sun-Hyung Lee from The Mandalorian and Kim's Convenience. Mm-hmm. And I got a few very, very interesting tidbits out of him. He was a lovely guy. I'm currently uploading it to Patreon, and I'll be posting clips throughout the week. He talked about Snoke, about Rangers of the New Republic, about what it was like seeing Grogu, what it was like being on the show, and also some of the directors he worked with. So that was really fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm a fan of when that guy shows up. I like it because he's just like always like, what the hell's going on here? Like it has that. It reminds me of like a character from Yellowstone or something. You know, the way that he kind of just like shows up on screen. And a couple hours ago, Bestman Bolton sent me a picture of Dave Filoni, and he's all, put the Yellowstone watermark on this with his dumb hat. I was like, yeah.
My father had his own security company, but around the mid-90s, he wanted healthcare. So during the day, he also worked security at Kaiser Permanente.
Oh.
Right. And that actor reminds me of every time I go see him at work, there'd always be some Asian buddy of his working there in security who'd just been there too many years. Like, like he was super lax, you know, and like some crazy patient would go psycho on everyone, tear out 3 guys. You go, pull my hands up, just saunter over.
That's the job.
Yeah. And that's the job. Like that's one of them dudes. Cool guy.
But and hey, as it true, how's it going, bud? As it true, when you're free, pretty soon, jump on and this week or next week, and let's talk about the video game news that we're getting and that's hitting. Anyways, there was some Star Wars news today. Actually, like kind of cool news in a way, and that's Andor season 2 spotted filming in London. Pictures and video. Now, I watched the video, and I was going to pull the video for the show. I actually did pull the video for the show, but it has a stupid watermark on it that's like so in the way that I was just like, come on, guys.
Bespins?
No, not Bespins. Oh. But I appreciate the person who got it, and they should be credited, obviously. But right here, Bespin pulled one of the nicer, cleaner screenshots of it. It looks like Andor has a new little trench coat going on. But you could give Bestman a coffee if you read his site, which we do, so we should. The second season of the this is from bestmanbulletin.com. The second season of the critically acclaimed Star Wars series Andor began filming in November at Pinewood in London, but we've yet to see any on-location shoots with actors visible. Back in December, I posted images of sets being built at Pinewood for season 2, and more recently, I exclusively broke that Andor had returned to McLaren Technology Center to shoot scenes, a location used for the Coruscant spaceport in season 1, and I'll be able to share more details on that shoot soon. Around the same time, it was reported that the Rogue One spin-off series was gearing up to shoot in Valencia, Spain, and that the production was in the midst of securing extras for the scenes. The Valencia shoot, if outdoors, was the most likely we'd see various actors attached to the series filming, but Eagle Eye fans have spotted the series shooting scenes in London. And then right here you can see the picture. See Unbox PhD. You totally deserve credit for it, but it's like, so this is abrasive, man. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like
it's like written in Crayola, like it's like the yeah, well, it's cousin to comic. It's like in the 80s when they tried to like Art Nouveau, corny shit. Like it's like the
what's the font from
the U and the B
Avatar?
are a place where his boobs would be, kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's got like it's
at first I had to like look to see if this was his Rogue One jacket. At first I was like, well, it's really close, but it's not. It's different.
What if they're just lost? Like, is this the set? I don't know if this is the set.
Like, where are we?
Normally we're in a Sherwood forest. Like normally.
The screen capture that Bespin got here does kind of look like a early 2000s record cover. One guy looks that way, another guy looks that way. It's called Rebel Heart. Like, hi, we're Rebel Heart, and we got some songs about truth.
Swing out, Sithster, right?
Yeah.
Jason, those album covers were popular for like 5 minutes, but they still went on for too long, like the Westlife covers and everything back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like something Sting's wife would paint.
Of the band facing a different direction.
Right. Yeah, it is funny because it was such a short time, but it made such a horrible impact. Like we have PSTD from it. But anyways, yeah. But right here,
did you see PSTD?
Okay. Oh,
hold on.
Yeah.
Over under Unbox has an actual PhD. Like
pretty hard dick. Maybe. I don't know.
Is that what that stands for? Come on.
I don't know. I mean,
I thought it meant like
it could be a degree.
Right.
It could be anything. I don't know.
Does Cosby still has his degree? Like maybe this is Cosby.
It was honorary. I think when it's honorary, they can just take it from you. So you probably not. But and then Luthen's like poncho thing, that's new too, right?
No,
that's the same one
in season 1. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's any time that's passed between season 1 and this scene.
Okay.
Like Andor and Luthen are clearly working together.
Yeah.
Straight after the events of Ferrex.
Right, and they've started a band, as we discussed.
And they've started a band.
You know what? Points missed here. 5 points deducted from this guy for not calling himself Unbix PhD.
Meg, what does Luthen play in their band?
He plays the banjo.
With the banjo? I was gonna go Depeche Mode style keyboards, but I'll take banjo.
Does he get the glasses from Hollywood from Mannequin? Right? Remember Hollywood?
those like yeah.
I wanted those so bad, and then they appeared for the Back to the Future 2 promotion. They kind of
going to say that I had those from Back to the Future 2. Yeah,
because of Hollywood, I wanted those. Yeah. My dad was like, "I think that my kid's gay." I'm like, "So."
Yeah.
But I was like, well, if it gets me those glasses, I'll be whatever you want. I just want the fucking glasses.
Well, when it's the 80s, you're like, do you mean it like as in my sexual orientation or as in like my cool stature because of the way that you guys suck? Anyways, YouTuber Unbox PhD managed to snap some shots and shoot video of a scene between our lead, Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna, and Luthen Rael, Stellan Skarsgård. The twosome, the fearsome twosome, who are instantly recognizable, are deep, intense conversation in the scene being filmed, which seemed to be directed by Ariel Clayman, the person sporting a black baseball cap, mask, and jacket.
Hey, look, a Star Wars director who can wear a mask, Jason.
Hey, don't talk shit about the Spider-Man guy. The Spider-Man guy can wear a mask too sometimes.
This explains why Spider-Man won't wear his mask in the fucking films. That's all I'm saying.
Why we have all those leaks came out because none of the fucking Spider-Men will wear their masks thanks to him. Anyways, yeah. In case people don't know what we're saying, John Watts would not wear a fucking mask for shit, and then no one else would wear a mask for shit when they were filming Skeleton Crew. Anyways, it's top-down leadership. Who's best known for his work on the hit Showtime series Yellow Jackets? That's Clayman. Is set to direct the first 3 episodes of Andor's second season, along with its last 3 episodes. So, though they did not partake in the scenes being shot between Luna and Skarsgård, supporting cast members Adriana Arjona, Bix Colleen, Kyle Soller, Cyril Karn, and Denise Ga Dedra Miro are all in London for the filming of Andor's 2nd season. And then,
you think she's related to Michael Goff?
No.
Alfred? No. All right.
No. Look at Andor though. He's feeling left out. He's all like, nobody wants to direct me. I need direction too. And then right here, he is kind of looking over like they are kind of doing the album cover thing again. He's like, look, he's all, dude, I want you to quit the band. I want to start a new band. I think we could do it better. But
Andor looks like Spreezy when I bring up he still owes me for that bet.
Oh, where
like,
I'm not here. Bell?
I'm not here.
Yeah.
I'm an athlete. I can't eat that now.
he does. He does on his Instagram. He is like throwing fucking tennis balls all over the place now. Okay.
Yeah.
Just like Andor's first season, the production is venturing from behind the walls of Pinewood and beginning to take part in on location shoots. For the first season, the production took place primarily at Pinewood for around 2 months before venturing to the huge Little Marlow set, which was used as Ferrex, and then darted to various spots across England and Scotland. The second season of Andor seems to be following the same timeline, moving between the walls of Pinewood, following its couple of months of principal photography, and hopefully we'll be aware of more locations and get to see more pictures and video of the shoot in action. So, yeah. Okay. And then, so here we go. And then there is the video. And then this video right here. You see, look, it's exclusive. I don't think. Turn the audio down.
Well, he's not wearing his mask.
No, this is from Onbox PhD. And right there, you know. He's all, I heard of this thing. It's called Death Star. No way, bro. I ain't ever heard of a Death Star. Yeah, dude, it's going to be huge. So that's it. Okay. But, you know.
Boy, I really hate those fucking stupid watch my other videos that show up like 10 seconds before a video ends. And you're like, I'm trying to like watch the end of this thing. And it even not just this, but even like on like clips of a scene, the scene will still be playing and it's like covered in fucking boxes to other videos. It's so fucking stupid.
Right. Did Meg just say this is boring and leave?
She left, yeah.
It's fair. She's just like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Hey, you know what? We don't really have the reach she does. So
that's true. It's true. Well, if she comes back, we'll consider letting her back on. But
she didn't like my dad not liking that I might be gay when I was a kid. Like, I don't blame you. I argued with him about it too. I'm like, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, he just didn't want to get me those glasses. He was like, he just felt that items at those things should be free, like Happy Meal toys. He didn't think you should pay additional money for items on top of the food.
Well, yeah, I was sharing the story before we started that when I was a kid, I went to Sam Goody and I wanted the Batman soundtrack because I wanted Bat Dance, right? And I'm trying to buy Bat Dance. And then I see the covers, and there's the cover, and it has the Batman poster, the Batman 89 poster, and the second cover is the Batwing in front of the moon, which is a much cooler cover. Yeah, much cooler cover. Much so I picked up that one, and when I get home, I get to the car, actually, I'm playing it, and it's like Danny Elfman, you know.
Yeah, the better one.
My dad's just like, what is this nerd shit? Classical music, basically, like you didn't want this, did you? And I'm like, no, I messed up, but I didn't. I messed up, but I was actually like happy about it. I'm like, this song fucking rocks, you know. And so then, like, you know, a few days goes by, and then my dad like takes me to get the other one, and then he had to listen to "Scandalous" by Prince. That'll teach him. Hey, welcome back, Meg.
Hello,
Meg.
I think the overlords of YouTube didn't like that I said Luthen plays banjo.
They're like, clearly he's a Depeche Mode guy.
Only Steve Martin plays a banjo. We know this. Did you have any embarrassing movie soundtracks as a kid your parents didn't approve of, Meg? Like
embarrassing movie soundtracks?
Yeah, like when you put it on, they're like, I can't believe my kids fucking listen to this stupid shit. Like
I think so. Can't think of one off the top of my head.
I mean, Meg's phone had "Drain You" by Nirvana as its ringtone because her parents are cool. So
Spice
I'm
World?
gonna
Spice World?
imagine when you were like, I don't know, did you have a point where you listened to Skater Boy or something like that because you were that age?
Yeah, I listened to Avril Lavigne
Yeah.
back when. Yeah, my dad was very cool. He had very good taste in music,
Yeah.
all the greats, and I kind of was not forced. I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of just showed me some Cat Stevens songs and Bowie songs on guitar from like age 7. So
Yeah. I didn't get into Cat Stevens until I watched that episode of Skins with Wild World, and I was like, "Fuck, this is a good song."
it's a
Yeah, but
great.
Jason, when I say embarrassing, I'm talking about like the Ninja Turtles concert. Like maybe by the
Like,
time Meg's a kid, they don't make music that bad.
she didn't have a
Like-
Go Ninja Go. Thankfully.
No, Go Ninja Go was far superior to the Turtles concert. Like
Yeah.
coming out of our
I've got one for
shells.
you, Rob. I've got one for you. This the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Okay, all right, there you go.
There was that song Goofy Goober.
Goofy Goober.
I'll take your word for it. I love SpongeBob on the Run though. Like I got Paramount Plus solely to watch that during the pandemic, and I stand by worth the money, like worth every dime. Like
I like to mess with my kids sometimes because they do take music really seriously, and sometimes I'll put on the Back to the Future music. And like I said, I'll be like, we're in a flying car, and like my daughter loves it, and she's like cheering, and my son is cringing. But one of these days,
Jason,
I'll put on Goofy Goober, and I'll say we're underwater, and I'll see how he reacts to it.
that's literally me every day listening to like I'm not a big fan of Back to the Future 2, but I do like the version of the theme in that movie where they add the trumpet solo, right? As that trumpet solo, right? I get all hyped up. So when I shower up in the morning, I put that on a loop. My wife comes in and goes, "What the fuck are you listening to?" I'm like, "Look at Back to the Future." She's like, "This fucking nerd."
That's fair.
It's like, oh,
So,
all right.
Bespin did a video on John and Dave's photo shoot.
Ooh.
It's probably going to get us demonetized, huh?
Yeah, we're getting.
Oh, come on, Bespin. What is this music? Oh, well, I got to turn it off because of that.
I love it.
I love it.
I
You
love it. That's on my cell phone, Jason.
I think that
Anytime.
woman in the song wants to do something with the lights on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Which
She wants to go in and out.
Which makes me really uncomfortable. You know, why does she have to hit on that nerve? Anyways, there's this little thing from Empire. It says Empire VIP event, a celebration of the Mandalorian with Jon Favreau, and there he is. And then Love the Mandalorian. This is the way. February 22nd. This at Central London location, we are hosting a very special in-person event with the Mandalorian mastermind Jon Favreau.
Everyone's gonna get an NFT, Jason. It's gonna be the best. Yeah, you're gonna get it. I got them on my phone. I just hand them out to everybody.
Yeah, those are just screenshots from your phone. Those aren't real NFTs. People just tell you
Rob,
that.
did you see that interview? Maybe it was that celebration. There was this one clip where Dave Filoni was talking about how much of a Reylo he is and how he loves that Rey defeated Kylo in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
He sounds so much like your impression of him in that clip.
I believe it. See, Meg, I've never actually heard him talk other than once in that Mandalorian documentary. But I immediately realized this is every dude I ever met in LA who thought he was creative. Like
Yeah.
this is, like I've hung out at the farmer's market. I got, I know these cats. I know how they talk. Look, I know the guy. So, good dude. Just they got a certain way.
But if anybody goes Wednesday, February 22nd, let us know what you learned. Hopefully the coverage is around, for that event or whatever. And then we'll hang Meg upside down in a second and see if she says anything else about the interview that she was on. That she
Shake out a scoop or two.
Yeah, we'll shake
As I
her
told
down.
you, the most interesting things I learned
Yeah.
were about Snoke, Rangers of the New Republic, Pershing.
Well.
But Pershing goes with Snoke because even though he was like very hush-mouthed about certain things, he was kind of with his eyes and gesturing like I was onto something. Because I think I asked him, I think the question was, we saw those Snoke tanks in season 2 in chapter 12.
Right.
Can we expect more of that given that we know this is tying into the sequel trilogy? And I think he said, I'm paraphrasing, you'll see when the interview's out, he said,
Okay,
well, Dr. Pershing is there for a reason.
that's
You
pretty.
know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
that's a good hint
I
for
also
sure.
get the impression the Mon Mothma stuff is absolutely correct.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Mon Mothma's in all of these
She's
these
Snoke.
things. No, I think she's in Mando. I think she's in
Oh, okay. I think you meant the rumors. She's in all the shows. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's like I think she's going to be getting around doing Mothma stuff. So which is good. I mean, especially for the actor. I mean, it's like she's such a central part of the rebellion. It would be weird to like keep her at bay, keep her like in the periphery. Like we can't touch that stuff. And it's like, no, you got this person who's ready to be in all this stuff. Let's go with it.
She's converted Perrin's room into like a workout, jazzercise, it's
Yeah.
totally empty. Just got like, like a Wii Fit unit in there or something.
But
doesn't
And
even
you know
miss
who
him.
does those Wii Fit classes, Rob, in the Star Wars universe? It's the same woman who did the cooking classes for the Wookiees.
With the 6 arms. With the 6 arms.
Yeah. Yes.
Whipster.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for being a friend. Right?
Every now and then, Nick goes into a downward spiral of depression when he misses Perrin. I miss Perrin so much.
I miss Perrin and Andrew Tate so much.
I like to think he's like Anakin in Attack of the Clones on his knees, like he grabs his stand and lets it run between his fingers when he says it. You ever notice that? He like that Hayden does that. Like that's Hayden's.
Okay. Who's greater than? If we have that greater than symbol, I think it's the big mouth is the greater than.
It's the Pac-Man. It's Pac-Man.
Okay.
Pac-Man's mouth is going to
greater
eat the
than
bigger.
Greater than Perrin or K-Fed. Like
Who the fuck is K-Fed?
Remember Britney Spears? She had K-Fed. Remember K-Federman?
Oh man,
right? K-Fed. Right.
You went too deep on that one.
We were talking early 2000. I thought Meg would. I'm the only one who remembers this. Huh?
I had a friend pretty high up in the record industry years ago told me that Britney shaved her head and all of her stuff because she smoked weed. And
Reefer Madness got her.
Because she was going through that divorce with that guy, and they were trying to take her kids from her. So she did that so that way they couldn't take a hair follicle test. Which if it's true, fucking respect, man. That's fucking going hardcore for your kids, and especially when you're.
She had to shave all over then. Like that's all I gotta say.
Sounds fun, but anyways, yeah.
The 2000s were a weird time, at least here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Between the Bush and Blair shit on TV all the time, but like, I remember when tabloids had way too much influence on social discourse.
Right.
At least more than now, surprisingly.
Yeah. What's changed, Meg?
Exactly.
No,
it was different though. It was different pre-social media.
Yeah, there was sort of a power shift in there. I still think that they still play in. I still think that they have a sway. It's just a lot different. Like it used to just like TMZ could just fuck your thing up if they wanted to. Today it's a little bit different. Some asshole on Twitter will just decide to do it. Right? Oh, Rob's right there.
Some asshole on Twitter taking off to do it right now.
That's fucking Brittany. Well, it's Brittany, bitch. Oh, hey, Brittany, what's up?
I always thought they should stick K-Fed in one of those Fast and the Furious movies, right? And he can afford everything because he has Brittany's money. Like, he's just like bankrolling everything.
Does he have Brittany's money? I don't know.
He gets paid. He gets paid.
Cool. I mean, that's kind of cool, though.
I don't know.
A kept house husband. The man behind men. So Variety has a couple of things. One's going to set Rob off, and we already know what it's going to be.
Oh,
I know what it's.
He doesn't like Avatar.
No, he does.
Okay.
I think it was Revenge. Was it Revenge Guy? He sent me something that like the South Park guys made more than Cameron last year, which is crazy if you think about it.
Well, they put out more content. Like
good for
they
them.
should.
Yeah, no, was a weird fun fact though, Anyways,
right.
I'm not gonna go through the whole.
What does
article.
that mean? Oh, I guess he loses.
No, it doesn't mean that. It means the guy who made Avatar and made the biggest movie of the year, you would think would be bringing in the most money, other than from the guys who made a couple of animated cartoons on Paramount.
There's like 20 seasons of it, and they're still putting out.
No.
Plus
money
plus
made
merchant, the South Park merch,
I don't
dude.
think
Yeah, but they get points on all that stuff.
Rob, it's not revenue from a lifetime of a back catalog. It's revenue from the
even at any given. No, I'm saying every year the residuals of South Park merch.
But that's not what's being tallied in this right here. This is from. Well, but it's.
I'm gonna lose sleep over it. Can't wait.
Dude, you're like fucking James Cameron's lawyer. You're like, hey, my client is no. Cool.
I'm just curious to know what was Revenge Guy trying to say by it. Look, that means
Revenge Guy's on your team, buddy. He's painting himself blue. He blew himself too. I promise.
We're all
one of you. He saw the movie twice. He blew himself twice.
Blew himself. I like that.
Lucas
blew himself in Revenge of the Sith. Right on camera at the opera. The space opera. Meg, were you here the day I realized for the first time that there's a space opera and a space opera on Revenge of the Sith?
No, I wasn't.
It was on this show that it just dawned on me that he was at a space opera all these years. I was like, well, the most cleverest thing probably in any Star Wars movie ever. He's there at a space opera. Like so good. All right.
Yeah. This article from Variety, it says that Jon Favreau got a star. So now you can watch homeless people accidentally urinate on it, people throw their Doritos on it, all the stuff that happens down in Hollywood. And he said I have a lot of good memories working on Disney projects, Marvel projects, Star Wars stuff. A lot of really special memories for me in that particular area of Hollywood Boulevard, because it's by the El Capitan, which is a movie theater where you could see the premiere of Return of the Jedi and stuff like that back in the day.
And they built a mini one at California Adventure.
Where I saw the Savaggio Press screening where I talked to Filoni for a while. Guess what I talked to him about, Rob? Guess what he talked about the most? Fucking Avatar. He was all about, this Avatar movie is really rocking my socks off, he said. Something like that.
Someone say got blowed. I got blowed. Oh, blued.
Yeah.
Rob, do you know who you sound like?
What?
Do you remember that character from Family Guy who I don't know, he's the one who has a boyfriend.
Obi-Wan Kenobi? The Obi-Wan Kenobi guy?
No, that's Herbert. There's one gay character who sounds, but I don't want to say that because that sounds bad, but you know what I mean? Like he just happens to be gay and Rob happens to sound like him when he does the Dave Filoni impression.
There's just a real whimsicalness to certain people in LA, and it doesn't matter. Like, let me give you an example. Could you pinpoint Martin Short's, sexual preference in the 80s? No. But he accurately plays an agent in LA Story so brilliant, and I don't think that it's just there's a whimsicalness that I love about it. That I met so many cats like him.
Variety writes, in 2019, the modern Star Wars sequel trilogy came to a divisive end and capped off the Skywalker saga, with no plans revealed for the future of the beloved sci-fi franchise. Instead, Star Wars headed to the small screen. The Mandalorian told the story of a lone helmeted bounty hunter played by Pedro Pascal, who travels the galaxy while protecting the cute infant alien Grogu.
Played by John Wayne's grandkid, but okay.
Robert Sinclair says the character's called Bruce. That was his name. You sound like Bruce from Family Guy when you do Dave Filoni.
Okay.
Bruce. Set in the time frame between
I'm only familiar with the chicken fight and the time that there's that. I haven't watched a lot of film, but man, these cartoons came out when I was in college and beginning of my career, so I'm not familiar on TV between 2002 and 2012. Like, good 10-year run. But I do remember the clip where Brian likes to eat his vomit, because I do love vomit. I do love it. Like that I like. It's genius.
Yeah, I was like I really loved the first 3 seasons of Family Guy and was like really excited for it to come back. And then by the time it did come back, I really wasn't watching TV anymore. So kind of weird thing. Favreau has already built out the Mandalorian mini universe with the Book of Boba Fett, which reintroduced the iconic bounty hunter, and Ahsoka, the upcoming series starring Rosario Dawson as the fan favorite protege of Anakin Skywalker, and their skeleton crew, created by Marvel Spider-Man director John Watts.
Maskless Marvel director John Watts.
Maskless Marvel. And their skeleton crew created by maskless Marvel Spider-Man director John Watts, which Favreau is executive producing. Jude Law stars in the series, which is a Spielberg-esque coming-of-age story set in the same Mandalorian era. Skeleton's Crew is scheduled to air this year, but unlike Boba Fett and Ahsoka, the characters will not appear in The Mandalorian. So that's actually a kind of, if this isn't presumptuous, this is kind of a big deal for us in a way.
What do they mean by Spielberg-esque?
It means Amblin, which was the company that Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy started around the E.T. era of Spielberg, which means like, so you could think of like that E.T. with the kids on the bikes. You could think of like Goonies. Was Goonies actually an Amblin film? But it has
it was.
It was, right?
Yeah.
And
it really was.
Amazing
Also,
Stories was Amblin. It's like this era of Spielberg without any cynicism at all. And
Hook was Amblin.
Hook was also Amblin, and Amblin still makes stuff today. Amblin still does things like I've seen Amblin recently. Super 8 was an Amblin film. Yeah, Super 8 probably has the most, I would say, the closest thing to Skeleton Crew in the sense that it's trying to capture a vibe Spielberg had and has lost. So, and
also
part of the look is like lights and fog. In E.T. when you see like the flashlights in the fog. Like that kind of like look. I would not be surprised if we have shots like that in Skeleton Crew, because that's part of the
better.
Better.
I love my lights and fog.
I do too.
Yeah. I also he had the offices at Amblin microphoned so that at any place he could request out of the ether, he could just Spielberg could request an ice cream cone and one would be brought to him. Like is there an interview where he tested out? I was like, check this out. It's like an ice cream, and they just show up magically with ice cream.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. I can just imagine Meg and Lego Star Wars popping up, boom, right out of his stupid face. Take that.
This is neither here nor there. But have you ever been drinking something that has ice and a lemon wedge in it, and the lemon wedge is quite sizable, and you get down to the last bit and you get smacked in the face by the lemon wedge? That just happened to me.
Okay, so the other day, I went and me and the kids got a big soda at 7-Eleven, like a big gulp. And I was like, not really in the mood for it, but I was like, I kind of wanted ice. And so I had like a bunch of ice in it. And I'm like, I wanted some of the ice and it was clumped together. And then I do this. And then all of a sudden a fucking this ice storm comes over my face. And just like I got hit with a snowball.
The one that used to get me as a kid was a Slurpee. Meg, do you know what a Slurpee is?
I do.
Right. So you could get all the syrup out of the Slurpee if you weren't careful, and you'd get this clump of like slush ice, and you'd go like this, and you go, I don't know, and you kind of go, what do I have it? And poof, and it fucking just like that slop. It would just pop you right in the face. You get ice up your nose.
Have you ever got lemon juice in your eyes when that happens to you, Meg? Because I could see that.
No, it just kind of smacked against my nose and then fell down my shirt. And it was a very, very weird kind of drink because
I've been there, Meg. I know.
This is odd, but I don't know if you like Coke, not cooking.
Oh, I love Coke. I love Coke. You want to do some blue?
I don't know why that works so well for Dave Filoni, but have you ever? I can't even say it. Have you ever tried Coke with mint and lemon?
Oh my god!
He's all no, but I have put lemons up my nose before.
Unfortunately, Meg, I have a little acid reflux. I can't have any mint right now, but I'm gonna get on that in about 3 weeks, so we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
So stupid.
actually, I at our 7-Eleven, the soda that I was talking about is I go there and I get a big gulp with Coke Zero, and you could add lemon or vanilla to it. And on that day, I had actually added lemon. I like to add lemon to to Pepsi if I'm getting Mexican food. Pepsi's Diet Pepsi with Mexican food. It's a good pairing.
Southern
that's my soda pairing.
California.
Yeah.
So Southern California, like
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
works because you're already putting lemon or lime on the tacos, and shit. So it's cool.
I'm drinking dandelions, so I don't really like.
But what's funny out here though is if you want to get it, right? If you want to buy it at the store, like you could go to like 7-Eleven to some shitty place and buy it, right? But if you want to buy it like bottled for you already, you have to buy these like little tiny cans of like Diet Coke, which makes 0 cents. That costs about $3 a can. And it's like they just realized that people with money would pay extra for lemon in their Diet Coke. It's really weird. It makes no sense. But anyways, each storyteller. So anyways, so the big thing is this says if this was thoroughly fact checked and talked over with a PR person, which it probably was, it's saying that Skeleton Crew is scheduled to air this year. Do you believe that will happen? Do you have faith that it would come out this year?
I'm going to say no, but a part of me thinks yes, if they condense a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But given the reshoots, I'm going to say it might be like borderline, like December 31st.
Mm-hmm. I'm like in the boat that it could if they really needed it to, but it won't. And when I read all of the Disney Plus goings on, I see it as if they push that show into 2024, they're saving $145 million to $150 million off of their next year's Disney Plus spending, and they have the goal to make Disney Plus profitable by 2025. And I think shaving off $150 million is one way to do it, So I'm kind of betting. I hope it comes out. I want it now. The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't think it will. I think that's their original plan, but I don't think it's going to happen.
If it did, it would fall right into that old Mando slot, right? But Ahsoka's supposed to be out this year, right? So I don't see them putting out 3. Yeah, I don't see them. Is Ahsoka this year or is it next year?
Ahsoka's this year.
It's this year. So if Ahsoka, they're not doing 3 series this year. Like,
yeah, I'm with you. I also so I think next year we get Skeleton Crew and Andor, and we keep hearing that Skeleton Crew is very campy, and Andor is super grown up. So it's going to the Amblin thing. People who worked on it aren't saying to me, and Bespin Bulletin has heard this as well, that it's Amblin. They're hearing it's campy, and I don't know what to make of that. But because when you talk to crew members and stuff like that, it's like they were doing like this spaghetti western duels with Mando, and then now they're doing this completely different project that has a completely different tone. And it's not that I don't believe them; it's that I don't want to believe them.
It's hard though, right? So John Watts, American. They shot this here. I was wondering if maybe it's a British crew versus an American director shit talking thing that does still go on. Like to this
I've got
day,
a prediction though. Okay. After we spoke, Jason, when we did that stream when Santa was busy, I kind of get the impression Skeleton Crew is going to be very divisive. I feel like it's one of those shows that a lot of people are going to be frustrated with. Yeah. Because we kind of expect it to be like adult and dark and everything, but I just don't think it's going to be that at all.
It's not. I think it's going to be like, remember that Clone Wars arc of the youngling Jedis, who with Gungi and all that? I think it's going to be not that campy, but I think it's going to be like that taken into the Mando universe to that tone. It's going to be more like that than what we're used to. And then I also think that it's going to, if Andor and that come out together, that's like Whiplash, tonally speaking, by the sounds of things. That, you know what I mean? Like Andor is this really adult spy thing where the F word could have shown up. And we have this other thing where the F word would never in a million bajillion years.
They curse in Goonies.
That's true. And
You
there's
know
a
who
dick.
Skeleton Crew is going to be for? It's going to be for the fans. This is by no means a criticism,
Yeah.
but this is going to be for the fans who watch Star Wars for the entertainment value. They don't care about things connecting or things being too deep. They're along for the ride.
Santa.
Same kind of people who love all of the mission episodes of Bad Batch, which is great, by the
Santa.
way.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to appeal to them more than those who are watching Ahsoka because it's the spiritual successor to Rebels kind of thing.
Yeah. And I like that. I mean, like ultimately, I like when you have Mando sort of, and I also don't mean this as a criticism, but it's sort of like satiating dads who want spaghetti westerns, you know? And then you got Ahsoka, which is going to be, I think, for the hardcores. Like that's how it feels. Ahsoka feels like it's for like the really deep lore people. Andor obviously is the more adult driven. And then Skeleton Crew is going to be the first one that's sort of for kids. But Amblin classically, when done right, does not talk down to kids either. It like literally,
Right.
Amblin sees the world from a kid's perspective.
From a kid's perspective.
And it's scary. And it's scary and it's beautiful and it's exciting and it's dangerous.
Yeah, they want to cut Shunk's tongue out of his mouth. Or
yeah.
Like that's like when people say Amblin, I'm like, Stranger Things is the only one that's really got it right because real violence happens. And real violence can happen. Like the government guys are one step away from shooting those kids with shotguns in ET, you know?
Yeah.
Like
or
that little ET, yeah.
Or walkie-talkies, Rob.
Yeah, that doesn't. I like that's the one thing Spielberg ever admitted to. He's like, yeah, I fucking hated that idea. Deleted it. Smart. But that's the thing. Like it doesn't remove. It's like, how do I think? Like I really like the movie Monster House, right? CGI film, but it does this thing that started happening in the 90s where kids, they wanted to give them guns, but they didn't want to give kids guns. So they gave him super soakers. I'm like, what are you supposed to do with the fucking super soaker? Like give him a baseball bat or a fucking something. But like, so what are we gonna fucking do with the super soaker in a house that can kill you? Like it doesn't. Come on, man.
Make more gremlins. Junior Jangle says, "Dude, no BS. Meg has the coolest voice." I know. People need to start. People need to start hiring Meg to do VO. That's what I say. Anyways, Skeleton Crew is scheduled to air this year, but unlike Boba Fett and Ahsoka, the characters will not appear in The Mandalorian. So any rumors that you hear coming out from 4chan or whatever saying that the kids are in Mandalorian's next episode will probably not pan out to be true.
See, what if they were all little Mando kids and they were hyper like they were like Battle Royale on it? You know?
That'd be cool.
That's what I like. Yeah. That's what I would make.
So he goes on to tell Variety. Favreau goes on to tell Variety. Each storyteller brings their own personality to it. The groups that are working on Skeleton Crew are led by John Watts, whom I collaborated with on the Spider-Man movies. This has been a real fun time and the great filmmakers that he's engaged with have been bringing their perspective as well, Favreau says. So, and then is there anything else interesting in this? I can't remember. There's also been an opportunity when you have a set of characters and stories that people, this is where he talks a little bit about how Marvel and Star Wars are like learning from each other, how he speaks to Feige and about how they kind of bounce off of each other. And there's sort of, I don't know, a kinship there between those productions. I mean, never forget they're owned by the same people and it's the same people working on all the shit at the same time. So,
right.
So somebody says, Warhawk says, sounds like Skeleton Crew is a step towards the next Ewok adventure. No, I would not say that. That would be taking what we're saying to the polar extreme. Like they're going for Goonies and that gang of kids on bikes in
Is it like the Hobbit, Jason?
No.
Is it like the Hobbit?
No, Santa. You always take it there, Santa. It's never like the Hobbit. Sorry. But so anyways, it won't be like that. It won't be the a bunch of kids going, I want to go to Star Cruiser. It's not going to be that. I don't think. I hope not, dude.
Chapek is crying in a corner. It could have. That's why they had to reshoot.
Chapek, you guys always say I have the worst ideas. So.
Is Star Cruiser worse than the first year of California Adventure?
I don't know about
What do you?
that.
I love that photo.
That's
I
the
want that over my bed.
hey, that's the picture that Best Spin Bulletin said we should put the Yellowstone logo on because it does look like it does look like it. And we love Dave Filoni. We just think he's funny. And then there was some concept art in Empire right here. We could see this is from season 3. We could see Grogu trying to, I don't know what is trying to eat walking turds. I don't know, is it ice cream? I don't know what
I think
it
they're
is.
crabs. They call them rock crabs.
Rock crabs. All right. Polonius like, I got some crabs doing rock one time. Sorry, no. But
Jason.
yeah, look at little Grogu though. Look how happy his stupid face is. You know, I appreciate it for one.
Do you think one day Grogu will go to Tatooine, long after Din's dead, grab a ukulele, and play Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
And then Ray buries him against his will, because that's all Ray does now is bury things in Tatooine.
Maybe he does Meg's idea, but he buries the little ball from the Star Cruiser, from the Razor Crest. So, by the way, this picture, my mom literally looks like Pele Moto.
Yeah,
and has
I was curious which character you were going to say your mum looks like.
Yeah. No,
Jason and I have the same mom, essentially.
Yeah. So this is my ideal, right? This is my ideal childhood right here.
That's my mom and my dad carrying my brother home from the hospital, and they left me. Like, they forgot me. They really did forget me once. Yeah, they did. They did. We were on vacation, and we're at a 7-Eleven, and I was looking at a comic book, and I was like I was looking up, and I could see a perm, so I thought that was her. And I just kept looking up, and I'm there a long time. Like, man, she's not moving. And I looked over, and it was just a cashier at the same firm. And they took off. And so I sat outside and waited for like a half hour till they drove back and realized.
I think we all have stories where we mistook our parents for someone else. I remember I was on holiday once, and my sister and I were talking. We were meant to be following my dad to the beach. And so we just start kind of walking a couple of meters behind him. So we're just talking and talking and talking. And after like half an hour, it dawns on us we've walked a whole bunch of kilometers, and the guy in front of us isn't our dad. It's someone who's got the same top as him.
Yeah. It happens.
That came to my mind as well, Baymax. Baymax says, not Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but yes to Rainbow Connection. That crossed my mind too. Did you ever see when Blondie sang it with Kermit? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Is this Bo-Katan a toy, or actually Katie Sackhoff? It looks too fake.
I feel like it's like image filtering or something that's like giving it that waxy almost look, you know. But I could be wrong. But yeah, this is really her. I the other day, was it on Santa's show? I was talking about how Empire classically has kind of gotten screwed over on the Lucasfilm side of things. But judging by the fact that if they're doing this Mando, no, they would get like EW would get to pick stuff before them. For instance, they would get like the scraps of images that were like the weird ones, but sometimes the best ones because of that, like the weird Snoke one that everybody went crazy about. Empire got because EW didn't know what they were doing at the time, you know, and picked the wrong images.
I hate EW.
But that said, these images like they're exciting, I think, if you're into stars. But if you're not, like there's just like nothing. There's not really anything to them. It's like a bunch of close-ups of character faces and shit, you know.
Jason, you said, did I say whatever it was on the Santa show? Mm-hmm. All I remember from that stream was you crushing our hopes and dreams for the Bad Batch, telling us it's just going to be a big nothing burger.
So I was a downer, a Debbie Downer on that one. I don't know if I meant to put this on this here. This is something I think that it to prove myself wrong really quickly about the Bad Batch. I've been kind of crapping on it a lot, and the streaming numbers are out, and I don't know how like reputable this is in the end, but it is what it is. And this says that last week, for the week of January 30th to February 5th, these were the biggest shows streaming. And you got number 1, How I Met Your Father. Number 2, Criminal Minds. Number 3 is The Bad Batch. And after that's like Poker Face, which is really good, by the way. And then like National Treasure. Shrinking is really good too. I think that's probably small because Apple TV's audience is small.
Well, we know Disney just fudges their numbers, so they pay for those.
We can't go and assume that every single time.
This. No, it's
we
no,
don't.
No, Twitter told me that's what they do.
No,
they
we
fake
know
their movie revenues.
We know
streaming
Netflix
numbers.
does. No, we know that Netflix has, and that's like the whole question right now is.
Hey, look at that! National Treasure: Edge of History is killing it, right? So there you go.
Well, it's number 5, but National.
There you go.
I think when they paid for National Treasure, they thought it was going to be a number 1 show. I just don't think it's really like delivering. No, but the point is, last week, according to this metric, I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea how. I saw this. Steven Stanton tweeted this out or put it on Instagram, I think, and so I don't know anything about where it comes from. So it could be a whatever. But the point is that according to this list, Bad Batch is number 3 in streaming for the week. That's pretty good. I mean, it was 2 episodes. That probably helps their like numbers to some extent as well. If you know what I mean, if that gets counted twice, that's 2 different shows. That may be why it got so high. But it is what it is. I mean, it's like, hey, when it's doing well, I think we should.
I hope you get 50 more episodes, and they don't do anything but the Bad Batch for the next 10 years. Only do Bad Batch animation. That would be the best.
It depends on what they're getting at through it. Like
that's long road. No,
Rob.
Do that. Just put all your money into it. Go full Bad Batch.
Rob, we don't disagree about the show. The thing about the Bad Batch is there is no reason that the Bad Batch is a lens for which big things and interesting things cannot happen. It's completely there, and the fact that it doesn't.
And in 10 years, it probably should. So just keep.
But also, Rob doesn't like Clone Wars, and it makes me think that he is high.
No, he's right.
Meg is also getting high with him. But Meg's favorite is Rebels. See, my take.
I'm high on Coke and mint, Jason.
Well, get out of here, Dave.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
David Felonius.
David.
My like Rebels. I think like Rebels. If I just wrote down, or if somebody wrote a novel of Star Wars Rebels of all of the stuff in it, it's fucking great storytelling. It's a really, really, really good story. It's really good. But for me, the execution at times is annoying. And the
novelization to Casper the movie is pretty fun to read. But
is it really? Is it really? Yeah. That was the thing in the 80s, because we used to always get a novelization for every film because people couldn't really own films all the time. So sometimes
James Cameron fact: Randy Frakes was his childhood buddy, him and Bill Wisher. Mm-hmm. But Frakes wrote the novelizations to Terminator and Aliens. So yeah, getting your buddy to write the novelizations to your movie is a pretty cool gig, right? Like
I read the Ghostbusters one as a kid. It was a lot different. Like Peter's weird in it. Like there's like parts where they go to like Ray's family's house. And like Peter's trying to bone Ray's sister, and it's weird.
Now I'm reading this.
It's weird. Yeah. You could probably read it in an afternoon now, as an adult. But as a kid, it was a gargantuan task.
I got the Spaceballs novelization, anything to get out of a real book report when I was a kid, just to figure out where they were going to like edit the profanity and how they were going to do it. Yeah.
So Bestman Bulletin says, I expect to see Ian at every celebration. It's interesting that Ewan and Andy are there. I wonder if they'll have Ewan come out to announce something. And then we have Ewan McGregor here. Well, this guy, the cynicism of this guy. I know. So, but here's what I have to add to it is I know 100% that if they fucking want a Kenobi 2, Kenobi 2 delivered numbers for them. Disney doesn't give a fuck what Rob thinks about the flat shot. They care about the numbers, and they want a Kenobi 2. But in my digging, there hasn't been any heat on a Kenobi 2 at all since then. So that says to me that they probably are doing some sort of exploratory, write us a pilot for a season 2. And then they're like either kicking it back or hasn't been turned in yet. But the reason that I note this is if they do come forward and they do say it's happening, I think we should be like, cool. Don't start fucking jumping up and down, putting on your fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi cloak and fucking, running through the streets naked. Because
that's crazy.
I know. I still think that doesn't mean it's going to fucking happen if they announce it. I think if they announce it, it's going to be so early. It's going to be highly unlikely. And also remember that when they announced it the first time, Kathleen Kennedy came out and said, we already have the scripts, which is the reason that one of the reasons I learned very early on that she was bullshitting, that wasn't true, because they were like, nah, that ain't true at all. The Joby's going back from fucking almost scratch, just kind of skimming the surface of those things. We don't have shit.
Yeah, but now they have Chat GPT, so they can just crank out a Kenobi script before lunch, right? I mean, they don't care. Whatever, just have it right, whatever. Shoot it.
Yeah.
You'll get the numbers. Doesn't matter, right?
But also, like, here's the whole thing is I've seen this a lot though. This Ewan thing, and it's gonna like lead to a bunch of fake rumors. But look at who's right there beside him. If Ewan being there makes us think that, so should Andy Serkis. So should Ian McDiarmid. They want to take. I think Nick was the one who posted it on Mig's Discord, wasn't it? Yeah, you could go stand next to Ewan McGregor for 10 seconds, take a picture for $250. Just gonna throw it out there. The man's gone through a divorce in the last couple of years and lost a lot of money, and he's like, "Oh, $250 for 10 seconds of work? That's the nice price." So I think I'm not gonna read too much into it personally. You guys agree with me? Or you guys think I'm just a pessimist who needs too much verification of everything? Because that's who I am.
I'll answer. I think it's hilarious that fans to this day think appearances at conventions are somehow spoilers for future series. Like it's a fucking convention. They're having celebrities there because they want you to go buy tickets and spend money. Like that's it. It's a convention.
You want to know how it actually works? It works the exact opposite way. It's when the convention appearance gets canceled.
Right.
But
not to what I'm saying, to the idea that if they're not there, it says more likely they'll be in something because they don't want you to be talking about all that. Also, not for nothing, and this is just like a little pet peeve of mine I've had over the last year or so, but like, it's like anytime something's announced, whether it's a movie or a convention, it can never just be about what is applied in the title. Like, hey, we're celebrating Star Wars. Let's go there. It always has to be some ulterior cameo, like motive to something else. Like maybe it's Marvel's to blame for sneaking in something that 20 movies later will pay off or some bullshit. But it's come to the point now where like, hey man, maybe I want to go see Ant-Man. And it's like, this character cameo is going to be in there. It's going to lead to the thing. Like, man, I just want to go fucking see the Ant-Man. I don't fucking give a shit about what fucking rando, stupid fucking cameo. Like straight up, Kenobi wasn't better or worse because Liam Neeson showed up in the last 3 fucking seconds. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that had no bearing on the quality of that entire fucking series.
If he hadn't showed up, if he wasn't there, then it would be the only thing people talked about. And why it was terrible.
Which is equally ridiculous. It's not called fucking Qui-Gon Jinn. It's called Kenobi. Yeah. So this is really a really, really bad thing. It's like going to Disneyland. Like your parents go, "Hey, you want to go to Disneyland? We're going to Disneyland. We're going to." You get to Disneyland, and you're wondering how come you can't see Super Mario World. You know what I mean? What's wrong? Yeah. Fucking theme park, idiot. You know, like we're at Disneyland. What are you doing? So like, I don't know, man. Like it's just one of those things where it's like if you're gonna go to a convention that's a Star Wars celebration, you might get some stuff, but like, aren't you going to fucking see all the Star Wars people? I don't know, man. Like it's odd to me. That's why
the world has changed a lot, though. Like back for Celebration 1, Celebration 1 it was just like this really small event. Madsen was just walking around. You could just talk to him, and we're like, where's Liam Neeson? Where's Natalie Portman? Where's Ewan McGregor? Like nice, said it nicely, but they're like, oh, the big stars. They won't do conventions. They think it'll hurt their career. And now today, because the money is so lucrative, stars have let that go. Like,
and now they're in Now they're in like 18 Thor movies. Like,
Yeah,
I know,
well,
right?
now you can go and take your picture with Hayden Christensen all day. Hayden was actually cooler about celebrations. He always went, but I think it's because he was already a smaller actor when that
Jumper
started.
wasn't paying the bills.
Yeah, Jake Lloyd was at Celebration 1, and so was Anakin. But
I'm shocked they haven't got Hayden Christensen in one of them Fast and the Furious movies. You know, just have him replace Paul Walker.
He could be Paul Walker's
Skywalker. Yeah.
twin brother, and cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like I said, I've watched both movies now. They act the same. That's the same acting.
I still think Paul Walker would have been a better Anakin, but
yeah, that's because you're a contrarian who doesn't watch the Clone Wars.
I'm not a contrarian. That's a legit opinion, and I've had it since I saw the first Fast and the Furious. But okay,
that's fair. Mm-hmm. So Meg, when can your Patreon supporters start to get the interview from Carson with Carson?
As soon as Final Cut Pro decides to work.
Okay.
It's exporting, and it's been exporting for like an hour.
Oh, yeah. I've had the same problem, Jason. I've been exporting my experimental film for 10 years now. Final Cut Pro just fucking sucks, right, Meg?
Yeah. Exactly, George.
Yeah.
But definitely by tomorrow.
All right, cool.
Oh, okay, great. I'm going to sign up. All right.
Yeah, whatever, George. George.
Oh.
George, when are your experimental films going to come out? And are your experimental films anything like the experimental films that Filoni makes?
No, it's a little bit more like Tippett. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, watch Mad God if you haven't. Phil Tippett's film, Mad God. It's fucking wild.
I've always wanted to have puppets vomit and eat their own vomit. So I'm really looking forward to this.
There's like puppets shitting into the mouths of other puppets that are powering, like fueling power stations and shit. It's wild, man. Yeah. It's sort of like a Tool video, but when I imagined the movie, I imagined it losing steam after a couple of like shocking moments. No, it's just one shocking moment after the next. It's a nightmare. I loved it.
Not a lot of people know this, Jason, but I paid to have Tippett go to film school too, but he just came back stoned and on LSD. So.
All right. All right, guys. We've gone an hour.
I love Phil Tippett, by the way. It's a Joe Johnston joke. Whatever.
Yeah, no, and Joe Johnston went to film school on Lucas when he got burnt out on working for Lucasfilm, which is really cool. And but Phil Tippett's, that's the guy I want to hang out with. You can tell of like all those guys, they're all a bunch of fucking nerds, and you're like, oh man, these guys would be fucking boring to kick it with. But Phil Tippett, that's the guy who's going to be into the same shit as you. That's the guy who listens to my music. I could just tell. So.
What's the director? John Waters. Right. Yeah, John Waters and Phil Tippett. There's a fucking road trip, right? My buddy who passed away last summer, Chris, he was big into like the East Coast at the time. He was doing all sorts of weird shit, but he ended up on a movie set helping out on, I think it was Crybaby, and John Waters really pushed to take him out to dinner that night. He was like, I didn't do it, but he was very proud of that. Like, he got hit on by John Waters. Yeah.
Whenever I try to say John Watts, I almost always say John Waters, which is completely different filmmaker.
That's the kind of camp I want in my Star Wars. So, you know. I'll be there for that day one.
Star Wars scored by Divine. You think you're a man, but you're only a boy.
Divine was supposed to be Peggy's mom.
Yeah, Divine would have been a good Peggy's mom and Married with Children. Yeah. All right, everyone. Meg, thank you for coming and hanging out with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
thanks, Meg.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Jason.
And we'll be back tomorrow at the same bat time, same bat channel. Be cool, stay in school, and we'll see you guys later.
So apparently, Jason Ward is spreading the lie that Ray toys outsell Mandalorian.
It's the end of the show. It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.